Yuen Street is one of the most famous streets and must-go tourist attraction in Hong Kong. A special feature of Yuen Street is its hawker stalls along the two sides of the street, selling a wide variety of goods and souvenirs. Yet, behind the vibrancy of Yuen Street, there are a number of hidden dangers which are continuously haunting visitors and residents.
狂徒連環縱火，焚毀花園街50個攤檔。
警方重案組接手調查旺角花園街排檔凌晨嘅4級火，大火造成9死34人受傷，其中6個危殆，全部係排檔旁邊大廈嘅住客。今次已經係1年之內花園街第2宗嚴重嘅火警。
旺角再次發生輻射性液體掟落街嘅事件。
First risk is a lack of fire detection systems on the street, such that firemen will always have to rely on citizens to report the fire to them, often causing delays.
火警發生到我哋接報係有10分鐘嘅距離嘅。咁當其時，如果我哋盡早到場嘅話，個排檔嘅火警咧未必會咁快咧就陷入一片火海，同埋咧波及到鄰近嘅排檔同埋附近嘅大廈。
Second risk is the lack of fire alarm systems on the street to alert residents, stall owners, and visitors of the fire. Third risk is the chimney effect. Once smoke from the fire enters the stairs of a building, it rises quickly up the building and traps the residents upstairs. Another risk is the lack of fire extinguishing equipment on the street. When a fire occurs on the street, there's basically no way to extinguish the fire, given that fire hydrants can only be used by firemen. Structures, like umbrellas and canopies, extending from one stall to another, also increases the risk by making it easier for the fire to spread. Last but not least, deficient fire safety measures in old buildings, such as subdivided flats blocking fire escape routes, also pose huge threats to residents.
衝唔衝都係後樓梯㗎？你嗰間房？衝嘅。咁你點樣走過去後樓梯度？得呢條樓梯走嘛，冇後樓梯度。
Moreover, fire safety equipment is often poorly maintained.
而家就係裝咗啲消防設備㗎，不過
如果整好晒，應該有晒成套嘅設備喺度，咁都應該駁通晒電源、水源，咁可以確保成個大廈嘅消防安全。但係而家到目前為止都係仍然係停留喺一個空殼嘅階段。
For falling objects from height, the major risk is poor building security. Without a front gate installed for most buildings, it is actually very easy to get into the building and up to its rooftop. With so many stalls and pedestrians on Yuen Street, criminal behavior of throwing objects from height could be disastrous. First of all, to address the fire hazards in Yuen Street, a video fire detection system will be introduced. The system actively searches for flames or smoke with digital video cameras and video processing software. Once it detects flames or smoke, it sends a signal to the fire alarm system, alerting the nearest fire station and providing precise data as to the place where the fire occurs, as well as a video image that can be observed in real time, so as to help firemen decide how severe the fire is and to decide how many manpower they need. To play safe, the manual fire alarm systems will also be provided as a backup solution. Our second solution would be to equip stalls with fire mattresses, which is able to both extinguish fire and prevent goods from catching fire. When flammable goods catch fire, stall owners can try to extinguish the fire with their fire mattresses. And when adjacent stalls catch fire, they can use their fire mattresses to cover their flammable goods to prevent the fire from spreading. We also propose placing fire extinguishers at regular intervals on the street, so that citizens can help curb the fire from spreading before the firemen arrive. In this way, the number of casualties could effectively be lowered. As it may be hard for citizens to determine the cause of the fire, carbon dioxide gas type extinguishers, which are more versatile, will be provided.
其實呢隻光粉滅火筒咧，我哋通常咧稱呢隻叫多用途光粉滅火筒，係啦。咁佢嘅救火嘅類別咧，其實幾廣泛嘅。
Fourthly, apart from educating residents what to do when there's a fire, it is also important to educate the public of the preventive measures that can be taken before a fire occurs, aiming to raise their awareness towards fire safety and to take the initiative to find out fire escape routes in their buildings and to keep their fire escape routes clear. Last but not least, the installation of fire doors within the staircases would effectively combat the chimney effect by blocking the smoke from reaching residential flats upstairs. To combat the risk of people throwing objects from height, we can model on the successful experience of Sanyong Street and install CCTVs on high-rise buildings to monitor what is happening on rooftops with a bird's eye view. Last but not least, from a macro perspective, we need the help and coordination of the Buildings Authority, Fire Services Department, and the Food and Hygiene Department to ensure that fire safety measures set are achieved, stalls are operating within their permissible boundaries, and building regulations are duly complied with. It is believed that, with the concerted efforts of different stakeholders, we can turn Fagron Street into a better and safer place. In this way, Fagron Street can pass on its vibrancy, and the Hong Kong culture it embodies from one generation to another.